Good morning, YouTube fam. Welcome back. Today, let's go over how to build your own gate for your fence project. In this video, I'm going to break down what you're going to need in terms of materials and tools, and more importantly, how to build a gate. So let's get to it. Tools I'm going to be using today are three tools: impact gun, circular saw, and sawzall. You're welcome to use more tools than this. These are the three that I will be using. Materials you're going to need: 2x4s, whatever pickets you're going to be using, whether they're 3.5 inches wide or 5.5 inches wide. And the only other piece of material you're going to need really is the gate kit, obviously. Regarding fasteners, up to you. I'm going to be using screws today. If you got a nail gun, great. Make sure you got whatever nails you're going to need for your gun. So let's get to it. So for our project, we don't have our pickets up just yet. You might have them already up. It's not a necessity. Ideally, it would be nice if these were up. It's not going to cause any inconvenience for myself. So we're going to frame this all up. The team is going to be putting up the pickets later today. But first step is I'm going to be cutting out the 2x4s to fit right here in this section. So I got my top rail, my bottom rail cut out. I'm about to hang them up. All I did so far is I put a screw in on each side because I'm working solo dolo. So I want to have these screws in so that way when I put this up, it makes it easy to shoot in. I will install this middle rail later. It's not important right now. So again, doing the top and the bottom first. Top rail's up, bottom rail's up. Next step, I'm gonna be putting pickets on both sides of our gate. If you already have your pickets up, great, hang tight. If you don't have your pickets up, time to do so. So it's not important to have the entire sections all picketed off. You'll see here I put 2 pickets on this side, 1 on this side. Where the old fence was, the hinges were on this side. So the reason I put 2 pickets up, this is gonna be our gate. Here's the hinge for visual effect. This is ideally where the hinges are gonna go, so you can kind of see here, I need at least 2 pickets up here for when I fasten our gate hinges on. For this side, I only have 1 picket because when I'm all done with the gate, we're gonna be framing up our latch and it needs to be anchored in onto this picket over here. So basically, whatever side you're gonna have your hinges on, make sure you have a couple pickets up, and whatever side you have your latch on, you're only gonna need 1 picket. And now the next step is gonna seem crazy to you, but I'm actually going to start putting my pickets up right now. When I first started this business, I did what you're probably thinking we should do, and that is lay everything on the ground and frame up your gate on the ground. That is such a huge waste of time. The margin for error is pretty high. This is a for sure easy way to do your gate. Again, it may not make any sense right now, but just trust me, it'll all make sense when this video is over. So again, I'm gonna begin picketing up our gate here and framing up the gate and building it while it's up. So let's do it. So for installing your pickets, it's absolutely critical that your pickets are nice and straight. 100% of the time, we always use a string line. Ideally, I would set a string on top of this picket on the left-hand side and a picket over here on the right-hand side. This is a very unique fence where we're gonna have a cedar top cap and trim, so we can actually just follow this 2x4 across. But let's pretend this isn't here, and maybe this 2x4 on a normal picket fence is about 6 to 8 inches lower. And you may also not have a string line. That's fine. I'm gonna actually use, for this particular instance, a picket as my string line. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So again, I got my picket on top, aka I'll serve as my string line. This is great for all you beginners because it can serve as a bump stop for when I put my picket up. And I'm gonna start installing my pickets from right to left. Again, this is the side my hinges are gonna be on. So I wanna make sure that the custom cut, I'm gonna start with a full picket over here. By the time I get on this side, I'll probably have to cut a custom picket. It's gonna be a little skinnier. Why I prefer it to be on the latch side instead of the hinge side is exactly for this reason. When I put my hinges up, I don't want a small sliver of a custom piece to be bolted into this hole. Take it from me, in the beginning when I started doing this, I have a custom cut over here by the hinge, and if you have a little 2-inch wide picket, it is going to split when you put the lag bolt in. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to start installing the pickets on the hinge side and work over. And last note before I put this first picket up, I do not recommend putting it flush up to the other picket. Use some kind of thing that you can be consistent with. Like for instance, I'm going to use this hinge. I'm going to use it for my gap spacing on the top and the bottom. The reason why is when this is all done, I'm going to take a Sawzall and cut this down. If I put this flush up, I'm not going to have room for my saw to fit through. So this is maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. Use something that's consistent. So I'm going to use this hinge. Check it out, y'all. About to install the last picket. Again, most of the time, gotta cut a custom piece. We're just so good. We don't have to cut a custom piece. Fits like money. Now that our pickets are up, let's head to the back side of our gate, because here I'm gonna cut out our Z bracing, our angle bracing. This ensures that our gate will not sag. Again, our hinges are on the right-hand side. The top of the angle is going to be opposite of the hinge. You're not going to want your angle to go like this if I put my hinges on this side. Hinges on this side, top of the angle, opposite of the hinges. Let's head to the back side and cut it. Let's cut out our angle bracing. I'm going to basically screw this on the back side, on the top corner and the bottom corner, because I'm just going to play the old tracing game. I don't know what the angle is. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but you want to be pretty darn close. You don't want to look back at this and see a nasty cut. We want it to be pretty flush to the top and the bottom. So tracing it should get you what you need. I'm basically just going to screw in the bottom of the 2x4 here. So I just screwed in one screw on the bottom here, because all I'm going to do and recommend that you do is I'm just going to trace this out. I don't know what the angle is. Not going to try to explain it via YouTube. Again, this is a fence gate. You'll get 99% exact for your back angle bracing. So I have it up down here and almost in the bottom corner. I'm going to draw a line on the inside here. And I'll come over here and draw a line on the top. So see, I was able to trace most of the line here. I'm going to finish it off. If you have a speed square, great, use that. And then over here, I wasn't able to trace it, but you see I have a line where I marked and a line over here. So here I'm actually going to use something that's straight. And I'm going to trace it. There you have it. Now let's cut it. Got our angle brace cut. Survey says it is money. Look at that. Now we just gotta tack it in. Now that our angle bracing is up on the back side, I'm gonna slap up our hinges. We're using a pretty standard just gate kit. You can pick these up at Home Depot. These also have lags that come with it in the packet. The only advice I have for you when installing your hinges, it's pretty noticeable which side should be up. Don't make this mistake of not looking You'll see there's a little nub here on the top. This should be going up, not upside down. I've made that mistake. Don't make my mistake. Pay attention to which side the hinge should be facing up. So right now I only have 2 out of the 3 hinges up because I have yet to put up the middle rail. And I've only put 4 out of the 6 lags in. I haven't put in a middle lag in each of the hinges. But I'm just gonna test it out right now to show you that we now have a fully functional gate, minus the latch. Because now all I gotta do is go on the back side. Now that these hinges are up, I'm gonna unscrew the screw that's holding these 2 2x4s together down here, as well as over here. And we'll see what happens. Last one. And survey says, well, hello, didn't see you there. Come on in. So the hard part is all done. We're in the home stretch right now. All we got left to do, we're gonna put on our latch over here. We're also gonna put on our 3rd row, our 3rd rail, if you will. And that's really about it. Then the boys this afternoon, they're gonna start picketing the rest of this fence, and that'll wrap up our gate. But let's close out this gate. So for cutting out our 3rd rail, it's pretty easy here. I got our scrap piece of wood from when we cut out our angle brace here. Basically just put it up like so. I'm lining it up with our middle rail, if you will, and using the good old trace method once again. So our picket ends here. If I can get on the back side, I would, but I'm just gonna draw a line. The picket ends there. The picket ends here. And then just connect the lines. Got the middle row up. Now all we have left is to put on our latch. You see here, we have a gap that's about maybe 1/8 of an inch. This will not suffice for our latch. So instead of cutting a custom picket here, all I'm gonna do is go on the other side and move this picket over so that way it's gapped appropriately so our latch will fit. I'll show you how wide the latch has gotta be. Depending on what kind of latch you have, it's gonna differentiate. So here is our latch. It's gonna be installed right here. I actually have to install a 2x4 going vertically so that this will anchor in. But you'll see here when this closes up, not enough room. It's too wide. So this gap's gotta be a little bigger. So again, I'm gonna move this picket over about 1/2 inch and that should work. All right, survey says winner, winner. Although I'm not gonna, and it's barely fitting right now, but these pickets are gonna shrink up. So there'll definitely be some more room here easily in the next few weeks. So now I'm installing this 2x4 behind the picket because this is what the latch is going to attach into, not the picket, but the 2x4. Other thing to note, since I moved this picket over, it used to be flush with the top, middle, and bottom rails. All I gotta do now is go back through with a Sawzall or a circular saw and cut this flush in line with the edge of my picket. Because again, I moved the picket over so that way my latch would fit. You don't want these little nubs of rails hanging over because it looks like an eyesore. Now that I have this 2x4 up, now I have to put a 2x4 up, a little piece right here, so that way the little knob, the little nub, the little bar, whatever you want to call it, the bar gets anchored onto the gate so that way when it closes, it catches on to our latch. But I need something over here for the bar to tie into. Now that the 2x4 is in, I'm going to anchor in our latch. The height is really optional in terms of what you want it to be at, but this particular project that we're on, they have a pool in the backyard, so we have to meet a certain threshold in height per pool code. So again, this is higher than normal, but it's because it has to be. Now we have our little bar that our latch ties into. The purpose of this 2x4, see the width? This has to be on the back side. So we're gonna put it up over on this side. Basically, it's very important to make sure this is not on an angle. So really just want to eyeball test it, or if you have a level handy, make sure it's level. And now you have a gate. Again, all preference where you want it. I personally like to install it on the diagonal bracing right here, because I just feel naturally if you're going to grab the handle, you'll come up, grab it right here. Some people, that's what this little vertical 2x4 is for also. You can put it right here. Really, it's actually meant to go like this. That's what this little hook is for. But again, I install it right here on an angle. That's just what I do. There you have it. And that's a wrap. All I'm gonna do now, come back through the little details. I still got, put lags in on these two hinges, lags down here on those hinges, and I still have to put up the middle hinge, cut off with the Sawzall / circular saw here. But I'll make sure we have a nice, clean, finished picture for you of what it looks like when it's all completed, as well as a video when it's all done, so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. But that's a wrap on this video. Hope to help to making your gate. Again, learn from my mistakes. I, back in the day, framed up my first few gates on the ground. Took forever, and it still was not accurate, wouldn't look good. This, in my opinion, is the easiest way to do it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and do all those cool, crazy things like follow, like, subscribe. I don't know what else there is to do, but make sure you do it. Thanks a lot. See you next time.